voters to know which candidate they support.
Now, why is that? I mean, there's my question again, Chris, and my show from today just encompassed all this. Why is the establishment, why are the people making up the rules trying to make this hard? Mm-hmm. I mean, why are they making it so that you go in and vote and you don't even know what delegate you're voting for? It's a number that you go in there. Why are they trying to quell our voices? I mean, that's the whole thing. And once again, we're going back to this system. Why are we making it so difficult for the people to go out and vote? And it's a Democrat deal. It's an establishment deal that wants to keep you in the dark of how they're doing things.
Yeah, and you know what's so interesting? People from New York are posting their ballots up, and this is what I'm talking about. And I said this on previous shows as well. Where why can't we have a unified system in terms of voting, where everything is unified? In New York City, there's different ballots in different places where you go to vote. I go, why is this? Why they do, like, why can't it be just one ballot? Even it's not even uniformed in New York. It's different wherever you go. I see the ballots; they look different, And by the way, I forgot to mention this, but why the hell was Ben Carson on a New York ballot? I want to know.
What the hell, man?
Why was he on the New York ballot? HC. I was so surprised. Bill Mitchell brought it up this morning, and then when I go to vote, I see his name. I'm like, holy! I got to take a picture of this. I tweeted out. I said
Ben Carson was really surprised, especially after the Iowa situation with Cruz.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. But you're listening to the Silent Majority here. The number to call is 338-1775. I'm your host, Chris, and on the Rebooting Liberty Hotline, I have Matt Locke from the Matt Locke Show. Follow him on Spreaker. Please give him a follow there. Listen to his show. Amazing knowledge, man. Seriously. And also listen to Hardcore Radio, Hardcore America. If you want to listen to political talk in the shock jock version, follow HC. It's on Spreaker as well. At this time, I want to welcome in my next guest. I want to welcome in Victor Bro. Victor Bro has been on my show previously. The guy knows his polls. His polls? Does that sound right? He knows his polling numbers. Anyway, let me stop getting in trouble here. Victor Bro, welcome to the Silent Majority, brother.
Hey, Chris, Matt, HD. I'm proud to know my polls. I just want to put it out there. That's a good thing to know. To know your poll, that's a good thing to know. Okay. So, HD, hey, did I hear you right? Are you from Louisiana?
I'm from Louisiana. Yeah, I don't have an accent, but yeah.
Oh, I was about to say, I should have knew you were from Louisiana. I was looking at your profile, and you gave a warning on there. It says explicit language warning. I said, man, that's got to be a Kunas right there. That's got to be a Kunas. Glad to hear you on the radio. I like hearing fellow Kunases on the radio too. Matt, you mentioned something about about Cruz bowing out. Does he have the integrity or to bow out? And at some point, will he realize that? I was wondering, after April 26th, the Gateway Pundit kind of put it out there. He says they wrote an article and put it out there, said that Cruz can't mathematically get 1237 after the 26th of this month. What do you think he's going to do after that point? Is he going to hold true to his own words or what?
I don't think so, because you've got all this backroom bargaining and you've got this secondary delegate deal where all of a sudden we've got all these second and third ballots and we're going to Missouri and we're going down to Louisiana where you guys are at, and we're going here to get all these secondary delegates to vote for me. I mean, Ted Cruz thinks his only way of doing this is getting to a contested convention. And I think, I don't know if you saw the article today, but he said he would never be Donald Trump's vice president, which I think is a bad move on his part, but it is what it is. So he's into it for the long run, even though he wants to tell you.
It was a poison pill. It was a poison pill.
Right. He wants to tell you he's the honorable guy, but he's not going to be the honorable guy.
Right.
Something to that.
Wow.
HC, you want to add something to that?
Yeah. See, in order for Ted Cruz to actually have integrity, that's funny. But in order for him to bow out, he has to not have a glorious absence of reality right now. Ted Cruz is virtually tied with everybody.
You're funny.
That voice kills me, by the way.
Yeah, it's pretty good, HC. You're listening to the Silent Majority here. I'm your host, Chris. On the Rebooting Liberty Hotline, I have a slew of knowledge on the line now with Victor Bro, Matt Locke from the Matt Locke Show, and HC from Hardcore America. Follow them on Spreaker. But at this time, I want to pick up this call. Tom from Pennsylvania, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, sir. How are you?
I'm great. I'd just like to make a comment that with the Republican National Committee intent on making this a contested or a brokered convention, whichever term you care to choose, go ahead and use it. Right. It's going to result in the same thing. The next week, Cruz is mathematically eliminated, from achieving 1, 2, 3, 7. He cannot get the number of delegates necessary to win outright. That said, his only option is to throw this into a contested convention, which is going to take days to resolve, if it resolves itself, And during that period of time, I'm retired from the NYPD. I went on in 68. I was through all that stuff in the 60s and 70s. A lot of bad rioting and such went down, and it's really awful stuff.
Right.
If that happens, I can all but guarantee you Cleveland's going to erupt or have a very good chance of erupting. Mm-hmm. And they're going to try to blame it on Trump, because what isn't blamed on Trump? Right. All right? So all I can tell you is this. These people, Rents and the boys, are playing with a very volatile and dangerous situation, and they better we better get out in front of it. I think Trump is.
Yeah. Well. You know what? Rents. You know how Rents Previous feels about all that, right? This is how he feels. The process has been going on for months in each state, and there's been a convention. It's not a matter of party insiders. It's a matter of 2,400 grassroots activists. And whatever they want to do, they can do. Is that pretty good? Is that a pretty good Rents Pubis?
It's not too bad.
Be good.
Yeah. Listen,
hey,
hold on a second.
That's a real good rent.
You like it, Tom? You like it?
I love it. It's a real good rent. However, here's the situation.
Quickly. I got a lot of calls.
People are going to get injured if not killed. All right.
Well, hopefully
I'm serious about that.
Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we don't get.
No, they are. I want all that hopeful stuff, but let me tell you, it's going to happen.
Well,
period.
Well,
and that's what's not funny, and that's what they're putting together. And we better lay it on their shoes pronto.
I think Bill Mitchell, who's been on my show before, he said ultimately within the next couple of weeks, the Republican the establishment is going to realize, hey, we gotta not cross the American people, and they're going to coalesce around Donald Trump. But I want to thank you, Tom. I want to thank you for calling. Continue to listen. I got to go. I have a slew of callers, but thank you for calling. All right. Matt, before I pick up this call, you want to respond to that?
Well, I think he's right. I think he's right, and I think the GOP, and that's where I came to today. I mean, you're going to have to come to a point and be a realist that at some point the GOP is going to have to get behind a candidate. Right. We're going to have to do it, and that's who the people voted for, and I think that's what they should do. Right.
At this time, I want to pick up a very special guest. Actually, he was we dedicated a whole 2 shows to him. He's a veteran of Desert Storm. He was a veteran of Desert Storm by the age of 19. Bobby reenlisted in the Army after September 11th attacks and deployed to Iraq 3 times with the 82nd Airborne, the elite 82nd Airborne Division and the 3rd Armored Cavalry Regiment. On April 7th, we had a show for him because April 7th was a very significant date because that was the date that Bobby was born again. That was the day he survived a roadside bomb in north of Baghdad where 5 men in his vehicle, there were 5 men in his vehicle, and Bobby was the only survivor. He was burnt over 38% of his body, and now he's into comedy. And at this time, I want to welcome in Bobby Henline. Bobby Henline, welcome back to the Silent Majority.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing good. Bobby, how you been, brother?
For your service, man.
I'm doing great. Life is good. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Bobby, so, I was looking today. I had people realize that you were on my show. People realize that you were on my show, and they're sending me links to articles of Bobby and how Bobby now. Bobby said that he wants to start working for Donald Trump. Tell us about that. I mean, you've been on a whirlwind tour, and then this article comes up, and I'm like, oh wow, because we really didn't talk politics when you were on the show. We basically,
Right.
we talked about what you were doing, how you were trying to raise funds to open up a restaurant and stuff like that, and help other veterans to open up restaurants. So now I read this article and I didn't know you were a Trump supporter.
Yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. The article came out. I didn't even know when it was coming out.
Right.
And he just asked me, what I thought about the waterboarding. So I gave him my opinion on that. And, of course, these guys are going to chop our head off on TV. So why can't we pour water on our face to try to save some lives? What's the big deal in that?
Right.
We do that to our own guys, in survival training.
Right. Right.
So it's not that big of a deal, and these people get all caught up in that. And so I said, would you advise Trump? And I'm like, yeah, I'd advise him too. And so then it turned into that I want to be as a personal advisor, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it was an interesting read, but I didn't like I mentioned, we didn't talk about politics because it was about you. It was about raising funds for you. But I'm glad you were a Trump supporter because I'm on a Trump train, and so are all the callers, all my co-hosts that are on the line right now. Victor, you want to say anything to Bobby Henline?
Well, I want to thank you for your service first and foremost. Can you give me any insight on the most recent election from a serviceman? What's your thoughts about Trump, New York, and Ted Cruz and the appearance of delegates being stolen? What's your thoughts there?
Yeah, I'm not liking the delegate thing. We need to listen to the people. And I like I said in the article, I totally believe we do need a businessman. The economy needs a businessman, but we also need a veteran in there too. So if we can get both of those, and that's why I made a comment before. I put it on Twitter, and I don't know what happened to it. I'm going to put it up again. Mm-hmm. I put a picture of Trump and myself, and I said, you can't have truth without the TH, Trump Henline, in 2016. But that's what we need. We need someone that could handle the military side. It not doesn't necessarily have to be me. There's plenty of other great leaders that can do that position. Mm-hmm. But we do need a businessman in the office, and we need something else besides politicians, and they're lying all the time.
Yeah. Matt Locke?
Well, I appreciate your service as well, sir, and thank you. And I think it's great. And I'm just sitting here thinking, how about Alan West? That'd be a nice little VP, wouldn't it?
I was going to say, yes, Alan West.
Military, African-American man. I mean, we would have the Dems beat. They couldn't say anything, could they? Other than Uncle Tom?
No.
Well, I think Michelle Fields will try to do something about that. Michelle Fields will try to keep him out, but anyway, that's for another day. At this time, I want to pick up. I have a caller. Let's pick up this call and see if they have a question for my buddy here, my hero, Bobby Henline. Mario from Jersey, welcome to the Silent Majority.
Hey, how's it going?
We're doing great, brother. How are you?
All right. As far as the military, I'm sorry I didn't catch your name for the military guy, but thank you very much for
Bobby Henline.
Bobby, thank you for protecting us and protecting my kids. Really mean that. I don't have any questions for him, but I do have. I don't know if you call it a rant. I don't know if I haven't. This is the first time I'm on listening to your call, and I decided to call in and check it out.
Okay.
But I wanted to give you, and we'll see if you want to talk about this particular subject or not. I am an average Joe. I make a decent salary. I work crazy hours, and I got 2 kids, wife. And everything's going okay for the most part. But I've never been in politics. I've never really followed politics.
Okay.
The last time I voted was the first Bush.
Okay.
So very long time ago.
Okay.
And so, I came across the TV, saw that heard some words come out of Trump, and he started, tingling. You started getting inspired a little bit.
Okay.
My first thought was that we got this billionaire guy that we don't even want to have in there. Mm-hmm. But anyway, you guys already know the whole situation.
Okay.
there's one thing that I wanted. There was few things I wanted to talk about. You tell me if you want to go on a different subject because
it has to be. It has to be quickly. I only have 15 minutes left. I got to get back to Bobby Henline, but quickly. What is it?
All right. In regards to those 3 people who worked for Trump and then came out